Project Search.
Hi, it's Danny again. Today, I'll be talking to you about what you can do when a good job or internship placement goes bad. For this presentation, you're going to need a pencil and some paper and put on that thinking cap. Throughout the presentation, there will be some questions for you to answer, and you need to answer them and be prepared to share your answers with the group when we get together. Project Search UTMC Remote Learning when a good job or internship placement goes bad. What to do when things seem to be going wrong on the job. As much as you might enjoy your job or internship placement when you first start, you might encounter problems at some point. If that happens, it's important to assess the situation and determine what you can do to make it better. There may be some simple solutions to your problems at work or your internship department. Maybe you feel as though you have too much to do on your own. So maybe you wanted to work in the kitchen and help wash dishes, but there's way more dishes than you realize there would be. Or you don't think you've had enough training or support. So you might get in there and feel like even though things have been explained to you and you think you understand how things are supposed to work, you just don't feel like you've got enough support or training to really do the tasks appropriately. Or maybe the work is not what you thought it would be and you're feeling frustrated or depressed. What can you do about these problems? If your answer to that last question was that you would simply quit the job or the internship department, then please think again. Jobs are not easy to find. And although there are several internship placements you can choose from in Project Search, the options are not unlimited. You should try to figure out what exactly is making things bad for you and try your best to address those things. During this presentation, you will be asked to think about some specific problems you might face at a job or internship site. When we meet to discuss this presentation, you will present your ideas for possible solutions to these problems. You'll need the following items handy as you watch this presentation: a pencil or pen, some paper to write your answers on, and you'll also need to put on your thinking cap. Here's the story of Greg. At first, Greg was excited about his job in the dish room with the hospital food services department. Greg always enjoyed washing dishes and organizing them neatly when they were dry. However, after a couple of weeks on the job, Greg was feeling overwhelmed by the amount of dishes he had to wash and the short amount of time he had to wash them all. His coworkers were nice, but they didn't have time to help wash the dishes because they were too busy with their own tasks. Greg doesn't want to quit his job, but he doesn't know how much longer he can keep up. What can Greg do in this situation? Pause the video while you write your answer. And now the story of Mary. Mary had been on the job as a data entry worker for a couple of weeks, and she had been learning her tasks smoothly. But when she was given a new task that required her to use a computer program she was unfamiliar with, the job started getting tough. A coworker who had experience with the task had shown Mary how the program worked. Mary thought she understood. But after 2 days of struggling, Mary felt like she would never understand how the program worked. She was very concerned because the new tasks was one of her main responsibilities, and she was afraid she would never learn how to do it. She started thinking that she might need to resign and find a different job. What should Mary do if she wants to avoid resigning from her job? Pause the video while you write your answer. And now we have the story of Valerie. Valerie loved working with kids, so when she was hired as an assistant in a preschool class, she was thrilled. After the first couple of days, however, her excitement had turned to despair. Instead of helping the children learn the teacher's lessons, Valerie had been assigned mostly cleaning and clerical duties. She only got to interact with the kids during recess and at lunchtime. The other assistants, who both had been on the job for over a year, worked in the classroom with the teacher, while Valerie cleaned the bathrooms, made copies of lesson plans, and filed papers in the office. One day, as she was at the computer clocking out, she nearly broke down in tears. She was starting to worry she would never get to do the work she thought she had been hired to do. How would you handle this situation if you were Valerie? So pause the video while you write your answer. If things seem to start going wrong on the job, what would you do? It takes a lot of work just to get a job in the first place, so don't give up when tough times come along. Try your best to solve the problems you encounter before you start thinking about resigning. I encourage you to go back and watch the video again, listen to those stories a second time or more to make sure you understand what's happening and to really think about what you would do if you were the person in any of those stories. See you soon.